wild-hearted, free spirit, life-loving hippie, a microphone, and a camera? I guess we're about to find out. So whether you're an old friend of mine or a brand new friend of mine, I would like to say welcome. Welcome to If They Knew, a brand new show, podcast, designed from my heart to yours, to take us to new spaces and new places, to infinity and beyond. My name is Dr. Devin Vrana. I live in Wichita, Kansas. I was born in the heartland in Iowa. I grew up in Kansas. I'm rooted here, but I belong to the world. I'm a mother of 5. I have a 15-year-old son, Roman, who will be 16 in a few weeks. I have twin 9-year-old boys, Jagger and Knox, and twin 4-year-olds, Magnolia and Phoenix. That's right, 4 boys, 1 girl. It's busy, to say the least. I'm married to my very best friend and fellow chiropractor, Dr. Devin Vrana. We have a lot of fun. We live a lot of life. We've been through a lot. I am a chiropractor. I love the opportunity to serve. I believe that the power that made this body heals the body. I believe that there's a doctor within all of us. I believe the doctor of the future is the patient. I believe that the many blessings in disguise that have come to us here in 2020 hold brand new opportunities with unlimited potential. I have been gifted so many amazing opportunities and lessons in the course of my 37 years. And normally, I am out and about in the world, traveling to whatever stage or group will have me, to share my heart, to share my experience, to share the tips and tools and resources that have helped me the most, and the stories that have cracked me wide open and helped me grow and transform the most. I'm a relentless student, so I'm constantly at seminars and gatherings and events. But as 2020 would have it, it took this free bird and planted her and rooted her at home, and now I needed this microphone and a camera to find a way to stay connected, since we can't be in physical space as much as I want to be right now. I'm going to use this opportunity to reflect on my life lessons and create a time capsule that maybe will create some ideas to share with all of you that help you come alive too. Get healthier, get happier, understand more of what this life is all about and how we can make the most of it. And I'm going to invite my husband and my kiddos and some of my favorite mentors and colleagues to join me here, so I can share their wisdoms, their little pearls and golden nuggets with all of you. Now, in the first episode, I'm just going to interview myself, I guess, so that those of you that know me can get to know me a little bit better, and those that don't know me at all, well, you're in for a treat. Along the course of the episodes that I'll share with other people, I'm going to ask them a series of questions. It starts with, what's the one thing? What's the one thing, right? Because no matter what seminar, what event I've been to, inevitably I hear the line, which is the inspiration for this podcast: if they knew what we knew, then they would do what we do, right? So everywhere I go, it's like those little groups of people think they know something that the whole world needs to know. And so we're going to get all those knowings together in one space on this podcast. But for me, if I summed it all down, all of the spaces and places, all of the life experiencing, parenting, relationships, money, career, personal growth, if I summed it all down, one thing that if I could wave my wand and humanity would wake up tomorrow morning and know that golden lesson, the one thing for me is that our power is on the inside, and it's unlimited. It's the compass in which I see life, see the world, see myself, the way I interact with my day-to-day life, with goal setting, with my relationships. It's that power flows from above. My relationship with source, with God, with universe, whatever's bigger, right? Whatever you want to call it, you call it. I'm going to call it God. That I'm connected to a source much bigger than myself. That I came from two cells, and that there's an intelligence with a relationship to God that is unending and innate and fully operational all on its own, that took me from egg and sperm to a baby into this world, toddler, child, ornery teenager, crazy young woman, mother, aging woman, wise sage one day. There's a wisdom inside of me. And it is beautiful and powerful and intuitive. And when I listen into it and give it what it needs, it thrives. So the one thing for me, as I watch the whole world search outside of themselves for some sense of control and fear, right? Fear seems to be the name of the game these days. What's out there? How do I stay protected? What do I need to wear or do or inject to be enough, because I'm not enough all on my own? I've been confused, frustrated, perplexed, angry, watching the whole thing unfold, and I had to ask myself why. And the why in me is this one thing. It's this big idea that there's a power inside of me that if I cut my finger, it knows how to heal. If I break my arm, it knows how to heal. And yet I see a world that underestimates that power, or has maybe forgotten that power completely. And that it's less about being fearful of what's out of my control and outside of me. And it's more, when it comes to health and happiness, in my experience, it's more about what I do to nurture that inner doctor, that inner wisdom. How do I drink cleaner water, get more rest, meditate more, pray more, move my body, hug, connect? What are things that I can do to build myself internally strong, physically, emotionally, spiritually? It's falling in love with ancient wisdoms and getting back to basics. I said one thing. One thing? One thing. This is probably going to happen a lot. We'll go down lots of rabbit holes together. But the one thing is that you are powerful beyond measure. Not me, not someone on a screen. You. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to put your hands on your heart. I want you to feel that heartbeat. And remember all the tough things that you have already navigated to this day. And that no matter what's ahead, you can do that too. You were divinely designed to thrive. Divinely designed to thrive. One thing. You are powerful beyond measure. We're going to have some fun with that one. Now, next on my list of questions for the guests that I'll bring to you is give us 3 tactical, practical things that we can run with today. And my 3 on this episode, because I'll get to share more than 3, obviously. My 3 today that are most influential and most impactful in my day-to-day in the here and now, number 1, is the way I start my morning. Now, I've read all the books. Miracle Morning, 5 a.m. Club, great books. Amazing resources. Highly recommend both of those books and the ideas behind them. And I'm a big proponent of the morning routine and getting up out of bed early to rise. But the key ingredient for me is that I serve me first. That I don't get into my cell phone. That I don't check the email or the social media. That I don't go directly to my husband or my kids, although I do try and roll over and give him a kiss on my way to take care of myself. Or sometimes we'll go for a walk. But I start the day to feed my body, to feed my mind, to feed my heart and soul. And some days, remember guys, I have 5 kids and a busy practice. So some days I get 10 minutes, maybe 2. So you got to get quick and be resourceful. Other days I get an hour. I can go for a long bike ride and soak up the sun on my shoulders. or a long walk with an audiobook in my headphones. But other days, it's just grabbing a piece of paper and writing down my intention or affirmation for the day. Some days, it's just putting my hands on my heart and breathing, saying, thank you. Thank you for another day. I try to make time for a big glass of water. I try to make time for a little bit of movement. And I try to make time for reading or listening to something on YouTube or Audible, or reading an actual book that gets me stimulated and excited and enthusiastic for the day. Because if we're going to rise, we might as well shine. I love life. I love life. And we'll talk more as this podcast unfolds about where that love for life comes from. But the way you set your morning, it creates the tone for the whole day. So number one, make time to feed you first, because you cannot give what you do not have. So especially to my ladies who tend to put everybody first, take care of you first. It'll change the whole game. Number two, breathe. Breathe. Oh my goodness, please breathe. I will post a few links of a really good starter Wim Hof breath work and a Tony Robbins priming that are just two of my go-to easy starters in a conversation around doing breath, right? There's lots of different breath work out there. Those are two of my favorites. But the power, and I'm watching everybody, especially this year, I mean, we're just going, and I'm tense here, and I hurt, and I've got headaches. Breathe. We're all working from home, and we're hunched over, and our posture is slumping, or we're kids, and we're wearing backpacks, and we're suffocating ourselves. We need to open and expand back up, and we can do that with just a few quick breaths. Now, the videos that I'm sharing are like 10, maybe 15 minutes long. Maybe you don't have that. So just... Now, the beautiful thing about breath that I will give you is if you're feeling sluggish and you want to gear up, I want you to take 10 big, fast, vigorous, young energy breaths. I just spit, I'm sorry. But I get into it because I can pick myself up and I can get my heart going, and all of a sudden, like Tony Robbins says, I'm in a peak state. And through the power of breath, I'm alive and I'm well and I'm ready. Now, if I'm too monkey-brained and too go, and all over the place, it happens often. Then I need to slow down, and I need to tap into that yin energy and the slow down. So I'll close my eyes. Usually I'll sit or lay down and feel the surface and support and ground myself and root myself back down. And those breaths, those 10, take the rhythm of my body, mind, and soul down. Up, down. I control the tempo. I control the harmony. And breath is my gate. So breathe. Make time for breath. Get some fresh oxygen. And now, don't even get me started on masks. We're not getting enough oxygen. On a cellular level, you will change your health and happiness if you make time to breathe. Number 3, breath is also my gate to getting in the present moment. So my third tactical, practical gift is to be here now. This particular watch says now is a good time. I'm a now girl. Because now is all we actually ever have. That's it. That's it. And I believe a lot of our aches and pains, physically and emotionally, are us being stuck in past regrets or resentments or angers or failures that we hold on to. Living too much back there of things we can't change and probably wouldn't if we knew how drastically they would impact where we're at. So let the past be in the past. And then the opposite side of that is we live too far forward. And I have spent so much of my life living for next week or next year or 5 years. And when I get there, when I arrive on the top of that mountain, everything will be better. When I achieve that award, when I finish this project, when I go to that event, then I'll be there. Always out there. And it is good to have a vision, and it is important to have goals that pull you and pull and push that momentum forward. And it's hazardous to your health and happiness to try and live in the future. It's an illusion. The only thing you have is right here in this moment. And you expand time and you get more out of the relationships with your loved ones. You get more out of the gifts of the job, the career that you devote your life to. You get more out of being outside on a walk or a bike ride or hugging a tree or putting your feet in the ground. You get more out of the way things taste and smell if you'll be in the moment. So get out of the past, stay out of the future, and be in the now. And it'll change everything. Now, the next stop that we'll make in the podcasting conversations with my special guests is I'll ask them to share a special little something with my mama bears out there, because one of the things you're going to find out more about me is that I love, revere, respect, admire, pray for, hold so dear the mama bears of this world. And I truly believe that a big part of the swing that we are currently in as humanity is a return to feminine energy. And I believe that the achiness and the rage inside the mother bear's heart is the medicine, is the cure, is the future. Because we know that things aren't working, that something's not right. And so you can pick government or school or healthcare or media, pick a topic, right? They're all on the table this year. But we are where we are because of the choices we've made. And we get to go forward based on the choices that we decide to make today and tomorrow. And so the mama bears are not only navigating how they make choices for themselves, but they're really setting the heartbeat for their home. And so I'll ask my guests, what do you say to the mama bears? And so what I say to you today, sister of mine, is I know you're angry. And quite frankly, I want you angry. Just like in Remember the Titans, he says, use that anger, tap into that. You're going to need that. It's going to be the fuel that carries us through the fatigue that we're going through because we're tired. I mean, there was no timeout. If anybody got a timeout or anybody had a pause button for 2020 and everything it's brought in, I didn't find out about it. So I know you're angry and I know you're tired. But push through that, lean into that knowing, that intuition that something is not right here. And if it is to be, it's up to me and not for me and not for my child. I will make better decisions. I will create a hopeful future. Tap into that anger within you. Don't suppress it. Don't suppress it. That's your knowing. That's you remembering this feminine, nurturing truth within you. And it's going to restore tremendous healing and hope for all of humanity. So Mama Bears, this podcast is for you. And we're going to talk about how you can tap into better self-care and family care. We're going to talk about foods and habits and healthcare choices and how to reclaim your throne in your home, and how to fall madly in love with your significant other, and how to love and be loved and hold and be held. So, yeah. Guys, I love you too. I got 4 sons and nothing but love, and there's going to be a lot that you can benefit from. But if you want to understand women, tune in, because I'm really going to be bringing the heat from my mama bears and my girls. Now, last little thoughts I'll leave you with on this first episode. Thank you so much for playing along with me. I'm so giddy excited for this space. But that last thing, to just peg off the big idea, the one thing that I hope I've created some clarity around, is that your inner world creates your outer world. I have found nothing to be more true. It is unwaveringly, relentlessly true. Your inner world creates your outer world. If you take good care of you, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, you'll yield positive vibe crops. You'll be healthier. You'll be happier. You'll attract healthier and happier people. And it's tempting. And if you are an old friend of mine, you know that I have some Hulk angry energy in me, and I have been out there in my community, and I have been addressing things that I believe are failing and things that just piss me off, like masks and mandatory vaccine and forced mandates that are not one size fits all and not without risk and do deserve choice. And so, see, there I am. I'm already down a rabbit hole. And so I do tend to go toe to toe, and the fighter comes out in me, and I am unafraid to go to war over these things. But I do get a choice. And going to war is an inner world of mine that I have to look at. Do I want to go to war, or do I want to channel all that same momentum, enthusiasm, vigor, angst, and energy? Do I want to channel it at tearing down the things that I believe are not working, or do I want to attract my new tribe, my new 2020 group of high vibe, big idea dreamers and lovers that want to create a new world? And I can take the time, energy, effort, and I can work on stripping down the systems that don't suit, or I can just let the house of cards fall, and I can be the new way. I can live the new way. I can create the new way with my husband, with my kids, with my friends, with my family members, with my community, with all of you. We can just let it be and not have to do anything about it. Just let it be, and then choose to put our efforts somewhere else. And that's the inner world that I want. So I don't doubt that there'll be moments where I'm going to go toe-to-toe, and the fighter is alive and well in me, but I get to choose whether I activate that energy or not. And so do you, because remember, where attention goes, energy flows. So focus on what's going right in your world and what you want more of. Another way to really flip the script and change it all. And join me. Join me day to day, week to week. Share different conversations on YouTube and via podcast. And some of it will be just me, and some of it I'm going to invite Joe. My Joe, you guys are going to love him. God, he's great. I'm going to invite all my kiddos to share the 16-year-old perspective of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, the 9-year-old perspective on going from traditional school to unschooling and what they see in all of us and all of this. And you bet I'm bringing the 4-year-olds, so get ready, because they are pistols, man. So I'm going to bring all of them, and then I'm inviting some of my favorite mentors and colleagues to ask them the questions that I shared answers to today and create other conversations. But if there's someone you want to hear from that you think I should reach out to, put it in the comments. And play along in the comments, for that matter. This is for you. It's for you. It's for us. It's the future that we are co-creating. We're in this together, right? Yeah, right. You're not alone. I'm not alone. So much potential ahead and so many possibilities. One of the things you'll see my shirts that say expect miracles. Yeah, I always expect miracles. I mean, not always. I have my bad days. I got my rainy days too. Rainy moments, for that matter. But I expect miracles always, because God is good and life is good. And if you keep your heart open, there are miracles around every corner. So let's have some fun with this podcast. Please stay subscribed. Share it with a friend. All the things. I'll be seeing you. I love you. Mwah!